that have kind of been gone to the back burner, but I do want to bring them up because I want to keep them in the consciousness. You know, I'm on the animal regulation board for the county, and over at the animal shelter, we're trying to make that a no-kill shelter. That's a statistical term. You know, if you meet certain statistics, you're classified as a no-kill shelter. We've got to the point where we're meeting that almost all the time, but not all the time. And one of the things we really need to do is get people to spay and neuter their animals, particularly dogs. The county has passed a spay and neuter ordinance. I think we need to do that here. I want to make it clear, this is not directed at breed specific. This is not a pit bull ordinance. Although pit bulls, a large percentage of them wind up in the shelter, they don't get adopted, they get destroyed. But this is for everybody. If you're not breeding your dog, you should get it spayed and neutered. The county has a pretty good ordinance. I'm not happy with it 100%, but this is we've got other things, as I said, higher priorities right now. But I do want to keep that out there. I'd like to see us get done with that. And the other thing is the single-use plastic bag ordinance. Carpinteria's done it, Ojai's done it, Santa Barbara's done it. I've been trying to work with the folks in Oxnard, Carmen Ramirez, the Mayor Pro Tem over there, would like to do it in coordination with Oxnard. There's a state bill that we're hoping they would pass. That's now gone on a 2-year bill, so it would be great if the state did it and we didn't have to worry about it. But you know, there's environmental arguments about that, but the one argument I will give you is this. Out at the Tolan Road landfill, we spend well into 5 figures every year chasing down windblown trash. Almost all of that's plastic bags. That's just one site in one county. You add up those numbers, there's a lot of money being spent on this. So, anyway, let's put up that picture, the next picture. See that distinguished fellow? Now, I was talking to Michelle, and I said, you know, I think we need like a big 20-foot projection screen. And she says, no, that'll make your head too big. I don't know what she meant by that. Anyway, at the bottom you see the city website. You know, Aaron, our IT guy, works on that every day. It is very, very useful. If you want to know things about the city, check onto the website. You'll find our water quality reports. You'll find updates on the beach area. You will have high contacts with all our staff, each one of whom knows a whole lot more about everything than I do. So that's the best place to go for information on our city, and I encourage you to check that out. So I hope that gives you a kind of overview of where we're at, and I hope I haven't taken too much time because I know everybody here has something productive to do today, and this wasn't it. So anyway, thank you for your time, and you know, we're building for the future here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Sharkey, and I just want to echo one comment. It's been 1 year and 4 months since I have taken over at the Chamber of Commerce, but I've lived here since I was 5 years old, sans about 6 years that I traveled with my former husband who was in the Navy. And I cannot tell you the change that I have noticed growing up in this town, but the change that we've experienced in the last 12 months particularly, and not just with the leaders of the city, but with the general residential community within our city. People are looking for this, and it's a great time to be in Waimimi as a resident and as a business. And we have a lot to build upon, and I'm excited about the partnerships that we have formed and are continuing to develop. So thank you, my thanks to the city and to the business community and the county at all. It's not just about Port Waimimi. For those of you that I've had the chance to sit one-on-one with, we are in a very unique position as leaders in our little town, because I think we can be the catalyst to change the face of Ventura County and getting everybody to realize that we all need to play together. That's where we're really going to start to grow, because we are landlocked. But when we start coming together and thinking outside of our little 4.5 square miles and how our little 4.5 square miles can make the bigger populace better, we're going to grow by leaps and bounds. So that's enough of my pontificating. We have one other speaker with us today to give us an update. Also want to take a quick reminder to let everybody know that today's State of the City and chamber talks will be broadcast later on kadytv.com. So be checking out the chamber Facebook page for a link to that to share with your colleagues, friends, and family who are not able to attend. It's my pleasure now to bring up to the podium Ms. Jackie Griffin from the Ventura County Library, who will give us an update on library operations throughout the county.
Good morning, everyone. I can't tell you how disturbed I am that you're going to broadcast this later, because I have a 17-year-old son, and every time I make a Board of Supervisor appearance, he watches it and then explains to me later every mistake that I made. He once said, "Do you realize you talk over the Board of Supervisor members while they're talking?" And I said, "I didn't realize, and I was doing fine without knowing that." So I'm not telling you this. Anyways, thank you all for having me here this morning. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to try to make this interesting and fast. And mostly what I want to speak to you today is as members of the business community of Port Hueneme, let you know what we're doing for you, what we're doing for your community. I love that Tracy talked about partnerships within the county before I came up, because that's really what this is all about. And I'm going to try to figure out that. Good. Okay. You're part of the county library system. There are 11 libraries in the Ventura County Library System. 6 of them within cities and 5 of them in the unincorporated areas. What does that mean for you folks? It means a lot. It means that you're a tiny community. We are funded almost completely by a dedicated portion of property tax. In Port Hueneme, that means there's not a ton of property tax, but because we work together as a group, because we can do economies of scale, you get a lot more library service out of that. I'm going to give you an example of a way that we've been able to work together and do that in the last few years. When I first came here, somebody told me that there were 16 additional hours of service for Port Hueneme outside of what is a baseline amount of service for a library your size in Ventura. About 8 of those hours is paid for out of your city general fund. That's 8 additional hours. And then at that time, 8 hours of that was paid for out of an NFL grant. And when I got here, I thought, why is the football league paying for the library to have hours? But I didn't care. I thought that was really nice of them. But that was a Neighborhood for Learning grant. And it has gone away over the last few years during the recession. It was a state-funded grant, and that funding went away. And that was hard, because that grant paid for a children's librarian who not only provided service here and on the base, but also did a lot of training and work with our other children's librarians throughout the county. And we did not know how we were going to be able to do that and fund that. This year, our property tax went up just a little bit more than we expected to, and unaccountably, it was almost exactly the right amount of money to support that position in those hours at Port Hueneme. That money's not coming out of the city of Port Hueneme, it's coming out of all of the unincorporated and the incorporated areas of the library system, and we get to make some decisions about what works best for our library system. And this year we were able to say what works best for our library system is to keep those hours in Port Hueneme. So that's a really important thing to us, and we're very, very pleased about that here. And in addition to that, I want to point out your city provides more money out of their general fund to support your library than any of our other cities. Ojai has a dedicated parcel tax that they use, but coming out of the general fund, your city has consistently supported your library, and that's an incredible thing. About 8 years ago, we adopted a new vision statement, and it was where we were going to be in 2013. And this was it. This was not all of it. This is because I'm a very verbose library director, it was a very long vision statement, but this is the piece that we keep coming back to. We go where the public is. We regard library buildings as a mere starting place to connect with the public. We find out where our communities are, and we find a way to be there. This requires imagination, it requires partnerships, it requires technological solutions. It requires not only that we act outside our comfort zone, it requires us to create new comfort zones. And looking back over this in this last year, as we finished up our 5-year plan, we realized that we have really done this. And a lot of things I'm going to talk about today are about these and about opportunities for us to use the things that we've developed in a way that makes Port Hueneme really special. And I would like the mayor and the chamber we have some thoughts about ways that we can deliver library services in different places for small amounts of one-time money. We don't necessarily have that small amount of one-time money, but we can provide the service and the support for them. And I'm going to talk to you a little about some of them. Everything for us starts from our website now. If you do not have a Ventura County Library card and you're not using the website, as business people, you're missing out on a real opportunity. We like to say to people, remember, this isn't free. This is paid for by your property tax. It's not free. It's free when you walk in and use it, but you're already paying for it, and you should really be using it. I'm going to run through very, very quickly some of the things that are available. I was really pleased today that I took this screenshot and I happened to highlight the Fort Wayne Library on the front. It changes as different programs show in different places, but it is a night. And I do want to introduce Bernadette McDowell, who is your Fort Wayne branch manager, and also the new regional manager for this part of our library system. Almost everything that you see that comes out of Fort Wayne is something that Bernadette has imagined and made happen. And she's also does a great deal of the book buying and selecting for our whole library system. So anything that you want to use in the library, you can really get to 24 hours a day from our website. And I want to start by just saying this. We have some incredible business resources, incredible demographic information, historical business trends, all sorts of things. And we will work with individual business people. Talk to Bernadette and she'll hook you up. We work with people to help them with their business plans and their planning. So please think of us as a